Okay, so next up, we got some video games we've been playing.
It's time! Duel.
We're okay. I promise we're all fine. No strokes. Um, a little video game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Edition came out on the Switch.
Evolution.
Link Evolution, very
Pardon,
important.
pardon. And me, Tyler, and Joe have been playing it. Not Bradley because he only wants to summon Beaver Warrior and doesn't want to learn what a Zexal summon is.
I mean, why would you not? He's the most powerful monster.
There you
Don't
have it.
sleep on Beaver Warrior.
I'm sleeping very hard. So this is a $40 Switch game that has like almost all the cards that were like in prints in Yu-Gi-Oh. And there's no microtransactions, there's no DLC. It's just all in the game.
This is like the Game of the Year edition of this game because it's on PC as well, but everything like is basically like DLC you have to buy.
That's not true. So I bought this game for the PS4 when it came out originally, and it actually still had a crap ton of stuff. But there were some packs that were DLC, and most notably, it had no links and only had like the first Pendulum Summon pack. So you know how the Link pack in this game, there's only one pack. It was basically that, but for pendulums back then. So this has many more packs, many more cards. Definitely the one worth getting into. How you guys liking this game?
This is probably the best Yu-Gi-Oh game that Konami might have put out so far. It's got all the cards and it's got a very nice economy in order to get the cards.
Yeah,
For sure.
it definitely scratches that card game itch for me, where it's like, and it's great because it's $40 and I can still do the terrible grind of me just trying to get cards, but I don't have to pay a cent past that $40 to get those cards.
Let's be real though, the grind is kind of fun, right? Because one duel, if you lose, you get like 1.5 packs. If you win, you get like 2 to 3 packs. So it's like you're getting a lot of packs constantly.
Yeah.
So like it's just kind of fun just pulling without having to pay any money, aside from the money you put in.
Uh, I do have a couple of like there are some like glaring issues that'll probably be like turned off for some people. Like
Oh, same.
you can't have a match online like with your friends like using unlimited cards.
That's true. That's a big bummer.
And that the biggest problem with that is the game hasn't been updated with like the most recent ban list, which is a very easy thing to do. So
Yeah.
you
Like
can't use
Konami
cards that are
definitely-
currently unbanned or limited or semi-limited.
I
like,
doubt they'll
at
change
all.
that too. Yeah, they won't update this. It's definitely a budget game too. Like it's very minimalist in its UI. Um, That being said, it's like the story mode, so it doesn't have like a campaign like some of those Game Boy or DS games, which are always really fun. But what it does have is like this alternate campaign where you get to go through all the duels, and all your opponents have like pretty decent decks for who they are. Like even Weevil is gonna have a deck that's like, oh wow, that's upgraded at least to modern standards. So it's still pretty fun to go through the single player, which is extremely long, by the way.
Oh God, it's so long.
It is the entire anime duels.
It's every single generation, front to back.
And when we say front to back, that includes reverse duels, where suddenly, oh, now I get to play as Kaiba versus Yugi, as opposed to the other way around. And then you also unlock challenge duels, which is like the character with the best deck that he could possibly have, basically. Where even Mako Tsunami has 3 mirror shields or whatever it's called,
Mirror Forces.
mirror forces in his deck. I'm like, why? You should have crappy cards. Really fun, good stuff.
Mhm.
And I get to play. Well, what's really gotten me into it this time is playing with you guys.
Yeah.
That's been pretty fun. Even though I'm definitely the worst of the bunch.
My biggest thing about this game, I enjoy this game. It's definitely worth the $40. But the biggest thing about this game is that it's extremely minimalistic, like you said, and it really shows off in the UI and the UX of the game because there are times where like this should be a really quick 3 turn duel, should win really quickly, but because of like the way some menus pop up or are presented, it just elongates it. Like there are times where like I think the menu is asking to activate one card or another card, and I activate it, and it's like, well, now you gotta destroy your own thing. It's like, well, fuck.
Well, to be fair, if you activate it and see it's not the right card, you can back out. Now, if you click on that card, now you have to play it. So
Yeah.
there's all these little things you have to learn how to fidget around.
Yeah, and it's for sure. But like, and the other thing is like they have these animations I wish you could turn off because after you've watched Dark Magician show up 3 times in a row in your game, you really don't want to see it again.
Yeah, that's a real bummer. Especially
Also,
for your
no
deck,
voice
which
acting.
is
I but what made this game like super worth it, like ultimately worth it, is that they got the voice actors for the game back, and instead I'm just gonna skip every single one of these story cutscenes because I don't want to read them.
so the
Like,
mobile game Duel Links has the voice actors, and it's the presentation of that game is freaking a tier. It's really good.
yeah,
Um, what is you guys? What is your experience with Yu-Gi-Oh in general? Because I've always been a casual fan, where I watched the cartoon growing up and I played the video games, but I've never owned the deck. I haven't really played in a while, so I'm just getting back into it with this game.
I used to go to I used to play professionally or not. I guess I never
Ooh.
played like I played with a team, but only a couple times. And like I went to regional tournaments down in Houston. I also used to play the online duel games like Yu-Gi-Oh Pro and some others. So this is like very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, where they've established like the official rules of all the cards in the game. So like if you and a buddy are having friends like figure like don't know what a rule is for a card, and you're like, oh hey, we'll try it in this game, that's like, oh cool, that's how it works, neat, this is how we'll play it from now on. That's like a good solid foundation to go on.
or teach you how cards work because I had no idea how Pendulum or Synchros or Xyz monsters work until this game.
This game is the one that taught me how that works when I first originally got it, and
Yeah,
I'm still figuring out links now. So
Oh
there's
yeah,
always more stuff to learn.
I figured out some things about links, like the arrows. Like they've updated the rules for Yu-Gi-Oh to limit the shenanigans with the extra deck, which is probably necessary.
But you can still work around it and get new
Yeah,
shenanigans.
that's what the links are for. Like where the arrows point, that's where you can summon additional extra deck people.
yeah. I actually stopped playing when Lynx came out because I think it was prior to Lynx coming. So, how Yu-Gi-Oh works is cards always come out in Japan first, like 7 or 8 months ahead of time.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that.
so they come out, they get launched, and then they go on to Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, and then all of the like notable Yugi tubers, as they call them.
Go.
Yeah, they call them Yugi tubers.
Oh man.
They go online and they show all like the crazy combos and everything that can be done with them, and that's like the bulk of their channels, and it's really interesting. Like they got there's an old Yugi tuber called like Asian Eyes White Dragon,
Of course.
and he's got a Beaver Warrior video where he goes over to like 2.8 million attack and breaks the game.
What?
Oh,
Don't-
yeah.
Don't tell Bradley this. I hope he's not listening.
So like once Lynx started to come out, like Konami was like, hey, we're introducing Lynx as a way to try to slow the game down. And they introduced that so like you could only have one fusion, XYZ, or synchro monster out at a time now unless they were linked to something. And then they changed up the way the pendulums worked as well. So like how pendulums used to work is like you would have monsters that are also spell cards, and then you'd have pendulum zones as well as your 5 spell and trap card zones.
Mm-hmm.
But now the pendulum zones are a part of the spell and trap card zones.
That's
so
a really subtle but good change.
that's like great.
It's huge.
That's the way pendulum should have been during their like hype, is like a really good trade off, because XYZs and synchros have always had their trade offs with everything. Like synchro this monster when it's sent to their graveyard for a synchro summon, special summon another tuner, and things like that. But
Yeah, there's
Link-
synergies.
yeah, I feel like links are really when power creep got way out of control. Like, there's been a lot of out of control things in the time. Like,
So- I have this memory of me walking home with you one time from work, and for some reason I was like, hey Tyler, you should play Duel Links because I've been playing that. This was like a year or two ago, and you're like, "Nah, man, XYZ's ruined the game." So I feel like, is it not like a knee jerk reaction to just think that stuff is making stuff go out of control until like countermeasures are
I
found?
don't think I ever said XYZ's ruined the game. I think I said Links ruined the game at that time because they were
Links
out.
weren't out at that time.
Yeah, they were. Links have been out since like 2017.
This might have been 27. That's when we graduated.
That's when I was complaining about it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that when I relive my memories. Anyways,
I liked XYZs because they were at least interesting to play with. I mean, like there were some cards like Shockmaster that were like nobody can play. Like have fun.
I think they're really cool. I like all the summoning ways. Granted, I'm not like an expert or anything. Like I don't know how to build a one-turn kill deck, but
what happened with Links though is it ruined all the other extra card like capabilities. So like you have all these Link cards being like you used to be able to spam XYZs, then you used to be able to spam Synchros, then Pendulums, but now it's only Links, and they have all these great decks. Like there's a deck called like DDD, and they literally have fusions, synchros, pendulums, pendulum synchros, XYZs, pendulum XYZ monsters.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's great, but you can't do any of that, and you can't like use this deck because of Links. And there are obviously decks that have incorporated Links into these, and you know it's like strategic, but that's for like the professional players. Like I want to sit down with Joe and Willer and play some kitchen table Yu-Gi-Oh, you know?
See, I don't like that. That's Tyler talking me into a bullying situation where on turn 1 he's gonna have 5 synchro monsters and be laughing at me. So
I have never done this. I would like to say that the meanest thing I do is deck my opponent out with Soul Absorbing Bone Tower.
Or whatever you did to me last night. Wait a second.
Always trap tricks, man. That's nothing.
Yeah. Do Yu-Gi-Oh.
Just get skill drain, Willer. Skill drain. Just
Actually,
yeah. Skill drain.
Who has skill drain? I need that.
Joe has. I don't know.
Joe's not a pack. You said it was
Joe Pack.
Joe Pack. Okay, I'll do it.
It's in one of the original Yu-Gi-Ohs because I remember unlocking him.
Oh, you said Grandpa. Grandpa has it.
I think he has it in like a card pack, or it might be in either Strings or Odeon that has it.
That seems like an Odeon thing.
Yeah, it is an Odeon. It is Odeon because he's all traps.
All traps all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like I think this is a great game to pick up and play with your friends. If you like card games,
yeah,
you're not gonna hurt yourself by picking this up.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like it's great because like the Yu-Gi-Oh community has such a great like database center for everything that it's just like I want to make a Dark Magician deck. Here are all cards I like for late Dark Magician. Go at it.
The game has that. That's a good thing to bring up about the game. You can press R on a card and it'll just tell you all its adjacent cards with synergies and stuff. That's helpful. But also you can go on YouTube and just search up blank deck and you're gonna find these professional ass decks, and this game somehow has every single card. So just have fun.
All that's really interesting, but I activate Dark Hole and you all die.
To the shadow realm.
The only downside I will say is not getting to play with your friends with the newly updated ban lists. That's the biggest thing, because like they're totally harmless cards. Like Elemental Hero Stratos is at 2 now in the official game, but you can't play with them in Yu-Gi-Oh because as easy as it would be to send out a patch to say these cards can be used, or to even make a game mode where it doesn't count any of the cards like they have in the single player, you know? Like you can use banned cards in single player and they don't care. Like, why can't I with my friends?
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
That's the biggest downside of this.
Yeah. I really also wish there was more like game modes. Like we could do like a 2v2 game or something like that. But it's just, I don't know.
Get these magic rules out of here. Yu-Gi-Oh isn't good enough for that.
What are you talking about? Labyrinth duel, man. You gotta go through the labyrinth. Where's my fucking Dungeon Dice monsters?
That would be nuts if this had a side mode of Dungeons Dice monsters.
Let's get our own Dungeon Dice monsters. We'll make it happen.
I play the crap out of it on the Game Boy Advance. It's a game.
Tyler, let's make Dungeon Dice monsters. We'll call it Dice Dungeon monsters.
Cave Cube creatures.
Cave
Cube creatures.
Cave Cube CCC.
CCC. Call me
Yeah.
Duke Devlin or Kook Kevlin.
Me and my brothers had the actual physical dungeon dice monsters, but I don't think we ever actually played it. We just used the figures for playing with other action figures.
Same.
Classic. All right.
All right.
I think that's good for Yu-Gi-Oh.